I take class notes and study notes slash wrap-up notes for school, and I actually have a lot of notes. I love taking notes. I'm personally a note taker, and a lot of you guys actually requested me to do this from like my what's in my book bag videos. Like, you guys wanted to see how I like have my notes set up and how I study and all that stuff. Personally, your girl isn't that smart. I am actually a B student, or like a A minus, and I could hit C sometimes, like no joke, but your girl isn't that smart. But I maintain a B. I'm more of like a 80s kind of student, so yeah. So if you guys want to see how I take my notes, then just keep on watching. So the pen I like to use is from the Morning Glory Match Pen 2, and I like the pens with the needle. And then I also have here the Zebra Mountline highlighter and the Pocket Color highlighter from Morning Glory as well. So I like to write my notes in the printer paper or the 8.5x11 paper, and I will just take my notes that I did in class and I will just basically transfer them onto my study note, I guess. And this one I'm doing is about cellular adaptation, I don't know. Anyways, so I'll be writing them in like capitalized letters with the highlighter, and then I'll also be adding that line in the end. It kind of just looks nice, so I just add it. And then I see everyone doing this, but you basically just take your pen and then just like write your script in a really long way, and it just looks really nice actually. So that's the way I do it. And then right underneath the title, I guess, I would write the definition, or like basically like a general meaning of what it means, like basically a general meaning of what cellular adaptation means. And then I'll use the thinner side of the highlighter and I'll just like kind of do like that stitch dot around it, and then I'll just write my subheading right underneath that, and then I'll highlight it in like a stripe kind of format because it looks unique, and so I do it like that. And then I'll just write what it means, stuff like that, basically transfer my notes onto this. And also, if you guys have like examples that you guys want to like connect down, I like to use the L, and it just looks nice, so I do it like that. It kind of like that, it kind of means like side notes or like examples, like other meanings of it. Like you could use the L to connect it down, or like an answer to it, you could connect it down. So in my opinion, it looks nice. And then I also use the thinner side to highlight the L. So yes, so basically I do that for the whole page. So yeah. And then after that, I will go ahead and just underline, I guess, the main points of the definition, and just highlight the parts like the example areas, like highlight other extra stuffs. And then this is optional, but I like to keep my notes in my binder, so I do hole punch it. And the way I do it is I just take my old notes and I just like put it right on top and then use it as a template. And basically that is how my notes look like. So yeah. Okay, so that was basically how I take my study notes slash weekly wrap-up notes. So I have it like right after a certain lesson. I will put that study note right behind it. So like this one is basically about the branches of anatomy. So from here, the next page would have been my study note. And yeah, so if you guys see what I mean, like this is a lot to memorize, so I would basically obviously put in an easier format in the study note for me, basically to have it easier memorized in my head. And if you're studying, you would have it easily memorized in your head as well. But personally, I don't study. I'm more like a person that when I take notes, I memorize as I take notes, but I have really bad memory, so I would do study notes just to wrap up my memory of the week. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, so I have like, I don't have study notes ever done for math classes, but I do take a lot of notes for math, so you guys will see it up close here. And here I just have like my government, and I also do it for government too. So yeah, so now I'm gonna show you guys my class notes, which you guys will see how I take my class notes. So let me just go behind the camera and show you guys. Alright, so this is gonna be a long talk, but I like to use colorful pens for my notes, and I like to use the settler ones or the Sharpie ones, and they all have that needle like tip, which I love. So the way I kind of have my notes set up is kind of how I always had it set up, which is I have the date right under the margin, or like the first line of the loose leaf, and I like it that way. So yeah, and I don't write my name on my notes unless the teacher's gonna collect it or something, but regularly I don't write my name. And then I know a lot of schools do this differently, but for my school I have aim and do now and stuff like that. And I know a lot of schools probably have like objectives or question of the day or enter question and stuff like that, but I will write that in front of the red line. And for my math section, this is my math section, and it's like full with notes, guys. Like, I literally write until my hands are like sore AF in class, and I like to write on the margin area like the most important things, like mostly like formulas and stuff like that. And you guys will see that happen in some of the margins. And literally my notes are pretty like I feel like they're pretty neat, and they're just really like, they look messy because I have so much notes, but most of the important stuff, like what the teacher says, I will write it down, and I will either have that in like the cloud thingy, or I will have like in a box kind of format. And this is just kind of how my notes are set up. As you can see, every day is like a different color for me because it just makes my notes look so much nicer. I basically don't like looking at like black and blue colored pages all day long, so I spice it up my own way with like purple and green and blue and stuff like that because I'm mad extra. So you guys will see the way I set up my notes are pretty neat. So yeah, that's my math section. So hope you guys get some kind of like ideas out of this. I don't know, but basically every section is basically like this. I like to keep my format for every year, so this is kind of how I wrote my notes since freshman year. So I guess that is basically it for how I take my class notes and how I take study notes, and hope you guys got some helpful information out of this. But that basically wraps up today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!